Bots for the win.
Coming up on today's edition of Bots for the Win, we're going to talk about how to send broadcasts in Messenger. I'm going to introduce the Triple Lindy technique, and I'm going to show you how to get some serious ROI out of your audience. If you're building bots, stands the reason you've got broadcasting questions, right? What should I broadcast? How often should I broadcast? Should I just copy my emails? How long should my broadcast be? How much text versus rich media? How many notifications should I include? What is the best time to send my broadcast, right? And all of those are great questions. So let's start with kind of sort of what some of the early players in the space are doing. And I've seen all kinds, right? I've seen everything from just straight disaster type emails formatted and rammed into Messenger, no effort given to adjust the timing that it's even readable. Definitely don't do that. I've seen no value provided, all about you, not anything about your customers or listeners, or I guess me because I'm your subscriber. Nobody, don't do that. Don't do that either. Nobody wants to hear about you and what you are doing. They want to hear about them and how you can make their lives easier, save time, realize their dreams. That's an important thing to always keep in mind, I think. I've seen simple, open-ended prompts, right? Seth Godin, whoever built Seth Godin's bot, does this all the time, right? And it's ask a simple question. There's a button, links to his blog post. Because it's Seth Godin, I totally want to get those and I want to see those. So I've stayed on that one. I've seen some really proper storytelling go down. Awesome choose your own adventure stuff. I've seen some hardcore funnel work, plus stories, constantly funneling people back to the product, but doing so in a really creative way with storytelling. So I think there's lots of examples out there to see. So it's yet another reason why you should definitely want to subscribe to as many bots as possible and really get a touch, a taste, a feel for what others out there are doing. And what are the right answers to those questions that I put up there up top? And I'll tell you, of course, there's no right answer for everybody. There's no one size fits all answer. You have to do what's best for your business situation. More importantly, you need to test things and just see how they go. So just ship it. More important than that is answering all those questions that I rattled off. What I think is most important, if you will, to keep in mind, it's certainly what I like to think through as I'm contemplating what I'm going to send a broadcast with is, I think, three things, right? Number one, respect the venue. Okay, respect the venue. It's not email. It's short and sweet. It's intimate. It's conversational. Understand where you are and map your communication accordingly. Just like a Facebook post is a Facebook post, an Insta post is an Insta post. Cross-posting never really works, right? There's no one-size-fits-all post. Doesn't matter if it's a tweet or if it's on LinkedIn or wherever. Every platform has its nuances, so you've got to respect those nuances. Okay, that's number one. Number two, be creative. Just be creative. Thoughts and their corresponding tools provide such an amazing opportunity to do so. You got to, if you do apply the creativity, your desired metrics, whatever they might be, they're all just going to go up. So I think be creative is number two. Number three, get the most ROI, return on investment, out of the attention you do have possible. And let me tell you, the bonus chatbots are so incredibly awesome at this, right? And today's technique really speaks to this, both the attention piece, sub-theme of the podcast, number one, and number two, what I'm coming to realize as I just keep going back to it is getting more ROI out of your audience, getting them to take more actions, go deeper down your funnel, come to know, like, and trust you more engagement. Getting more ROI out of the attention that you do have is definitely another sub-theme of this podcast. So this one ticks both boxes, that and attention. So I'm fired up to outline this thing that I've been using, and I think you can use it too. You can nuance it to whatever your business is and run it. Now, okay, so I'm not going to lie. This baby's a little bit advanced. It just is. This type of nuanced creativity and genius, it's very difficult to do justice to it with just an audio experience, but I'm going to do my absolute best to do that. One of the challenges of having a podcast about bots. But if you're listening and you hear me outlining this thing and you're going, what was that? What is that? Huh? Don't worry. I'm going to put together via Messenger Ref URL a link you can click that will let you test drive this technique in action so you can visualize it. So feel free to go back to passively listening as you work out or drive or commute or whatever you might be doing as you listen to this. You can come back later and really get like an in-depth look at all the moving parts. So number two, I guess also, what I'm going to outline now is how a hardcore content marketer that is likely slightly addicted to paid traffic in the form of Facebook ads likes to do things. This technique is really designed to both charge up engagement on your Facebook page, plus prime the pump for you to run Facebook ads. And perhaps that's not your situation. You're not even heavily active on Facebook, or you hate Facebook, or you're definitely not spending any money on Facebook ads. Totally get all that. Respect. Everybody's got to do what works for them. But I do think there'll be some nuances, some tradecraft, some things you can take away from this particular technique and make it work in other venues. But to get the most ROI out of it is a Facebook-centric technique. So let me start by IDing the clubs in the bag. This is going to incorporate my email list. This is going to incorporate my ManyChat list, whatever size it is, it doesn't matter. So my Messenger subscribers. I am also going to be using Facebook traffic, paid traffic ads to both cold and warm audiences. Cold, meaning they don't know me or my brand, have never experienced me for the first time. Warm, meaning they do know me, they do know my brand. In this case, they're on my email list. Now, let's ID the ManyChat growth tools that we're going to need to get this baby done. We're going to send a ManyChat broadcast. We're going to have to use a growth tool for Messenger URLs. And we're also going to need to use the Facebook post comment growth tool. I sort of get the names mixed up. But question for you. Have you ever seen Back to School, starring the inimitable and sadly late Rodney, No Respect, Dangerfield? And hold on, I got the thing here.
And I tell you, when I was a kid, I got no respect at all, you know?
No respect at all. So that's him. In that movie, in Back to School, there's a diving competition, and Rodney wins said competition by performing what's called the Triple Lindy. And I'll put a link to the YouTube clip in the show notes where he jumps. It's hilarious. It's awesome. He jumps off of one diving board onto another diving board, onto a third diving board, and then I think he actually bounces up again. I got to go watch it again. And then into the pool. And I find this one to be just an insanely apt analogy to describe this technique. And actually, now that I think about it, no question. Heretofore, this technique was nameless. I'm now calling this technique the Triple Lindy. Anyway, it's an apt analogy as it has 3 parts and is a little bit difficult in its execution, just like the real Triple Lindy. So let me quickly ID the 3 parts as it pertains to our example, and I'm going to give you a real-world example and sort of just peel the onion one layer at a time. Part 1 is we are going to create a hook that you are going to use as the intro copy in both the email that we're going to send and the ManyChat broadcast we're going to send. And your hook, believe it or not, is designed to get people's attention. Part 2 is the post. And in this case, we are going to be using a regular old Facebook post for this one. Nothing fancy about it. Part 3, we're going to send our attention back to our bot by stitching the ManyChat growth tool to that Facebook post. And ladies and gentlemen, that will be the Triple Lindy. Those are the 3 steps of the Triple Lindy. So hook, email, and Messenger broadcast at the same time. We're going to be driving all that traffic, not off-site, not to a blog post, not to a podcast episode, but to a Facebook post, okay? And on that Facebook post, we're going to have the comment growth tool stitched together so that they go right back into their bot experience at the end. Okay, so what we need now to, visualize this, so to speak, is a real-world example. Given that I'm going to provide you one, I might as well get to work on it now. So let's start with part 1, and here's our real-world example. It starts with the hook, right? So I'm going to grab a photo of a person, and I'm going to say something like, and I quote, "This is Bob. Bob uses messenger marketing technique called the Triple Lindy to maximize open rates, increase his Facebook page engagement, and lower his Facebook ad costs all at the same time. Last week, he used this technique to generate $1,500 in sales all in one broadcast. Want to learn how he did it?" End quote. That's my hook. That's what goes in the messenger broadcast. That's what goes in the email, part 1. Part 2, the post. And so this is what the Facebook post is going to say. And this is just a regular good old Facebook post on your page. I would say something like, and I quote, "What in the wide, wide world of sports is the Triple Lindy, and how does it apply to sending really good messenger broadcasts? Bob uses this simple 3-part framework to broadcast to his subscribers, and it is so effective. If things keep up this way, he's likely going to have to retire soon because he's going to be doing so well." This broadcast technique starts with a hook, combines a Facebook post, and then it finishes up in a messenger bot. Not only is it a great and creative way to broadcast in Messenger, your audience will love it, but employs creative storytelling, ramps up your Facebook page engagement, and provides you with an ad-ready piece of content preloaded with social proof that you paid nothing for. This works towards lowering your ad cost, and it is a fantastic way to get more ROI out of your audience. In fact, it's probably one of the most effective ways to promote your content with Messenger. Sounds great, right? You'll take two even. Fantastic. It's effective, yes, but it is a bit complicated. Decent amount of moving parts on this one. The good news is I want to teach you all of the steps so you can put it to use in your business. If that interests you at all, leave me a comment below and I'll follow up in Messenger. End quote. Okay, that had a lot in it, right? A few things to pay attention to here. Number one, we attach the Facebook post comment growth tool to that post, the ManyChat growth tool. And so what happens is they come from the broadcast, they come from the email, they hit the post in Facebook. They're like, this sounds super interesting. I want more information. They leave a comment and they go right back into the Messenger bot in a completely different flow than they came in from if they did come from Messenger and not email. Number two, and this is where it gets tricky, it's important that the post itself be a standalone piece of content. What do I mean? It needs to stand on its own merit. It needs to work on its own, whether or not people have seen your hook, because people are going to see this post that potentially did not get your Messenger broadcast hook, that did not get your email hook. Okay, so that's part two. Part three, when the magic happens, is back to the bot experience. And look, once you get them into your world, the world's your oyster. I mean, it's the important thing here to do is just make sure the bot experience does not end. Do the best you can to segment people where possible, try and capture emails, start some conversations, provide value, and to complete things, sticking with my example, I would probably be delivering some sort of comprehensive guide to the Triple Lindy. I would go and see if I had their email address. If I didn't, I would ask for it. This is a big piece of content, so I need to email it to you, Patrick. Does this email address work for you? Great. If I already do have their email address, I'll let them know that I'll be sending it to them. In both cases, I might even ask them to follow me on Instagram. I'd ask if they have any questions. I'd start some conversations. I'd ask them maybe what niche they're in and store that in a custom field. Choose your own adventure here yourself. It's all deadly. It all works. Maximize the ROI of the attention that you do get from this broadcast. And really, it's just about asking for it. Ask for it in your bot, and people will deliver. And then at the very end of it, I always dump them out on my podcast menu or my main menu, and I hope that they continue down the rabbit hole on their own. You never want to let your bot experience end, right? So that's it. That's part 1, 2, and 3. Now, you're likely sitting there going, what the heck? What just went down there? I realize I have some explaining to do. So let me fill in the pieces. We take our hook, and again, this becomes the copy for both the email and the Messenger broadcast. In both of those cases, email, Messenger broadcast, you are going to link directly to your Facebook post, okay? The minute the Facebook post is live, it's turned into an ad. Campaign objective is going to be engagement, because what are we looking for here? We're looking for comments. We don't want traffic or conversions or any of the rest of it. All I want people to do is leave that comment on the end and get back into my bot experience. For targeting, you show that to your email audience, and if you figured out how to get your Messenger audience, subject to another episode, into Facebook, you could show it to them as well, right? Because what are they going to do? They're going to see that ad. They're going to potentially get the email. They're going to potentially get the broadcast, and you want as much exposure to that broadcast. You want them taking action on it. And so that's why you do some paid traffic. These spends can be very, very inexpensive. I mean, you can get this done for, depending on your list size, $5, $10, $15, $20, $100 for those of you guys that have the big email list. So, okay. Now, I didn't mention this, but in the copy examples from earlier, inevitably, you're going to have some people in your Messenger list that are both in your Messenger list and on your email list, right? And so it does make sense to tweak the copy a little bit, because you don't want them getting the exact same message twice. This is really easy to do, very, very simple. So what I would do is I'd leave the email copy exactly how we gave it, the exact example I had above. And then in the Messenger copy, I might just add, hey, did you hear about Bob? You might have, but in case you missed it, this is Bob, right? So throw in just a line so that if somebody does get the Messenger broadcast and the email, you're not whacking them with the exact same thing, which is sort of annoying, right? So just throw in a line like, hey, you might have missed it. Here it is. Simple way to kind of just tune that up, right? Now, You let the Facebook post get charged up with comments. You look at your data and you kind of just make a decision. Is the content performing well? Did people seem to be responding to it? Okay, good. You then take that Facebook post charged up with all that social proof and comments and likes and shares, and you start showing that to cold traffic, right? That post now has that social proof baked in for free, and that's going to turn into a fantastic ad unit that has the comment growth tool stitched to it that you can go and show to cold traffic, which makes it so incredibly amazing. So that is the Triple Lindy of messenger broadcasts. And, I came with my 3 points earlier in the podcast, right? On sort of a way to think about how you're sending messenger broadcasts. What were they? It was respect the venue. It was be creative and get the most ROI out of the attention you do have possible. So let's talk about how this technique ticks those boxes. Number 1, respect the venue. This messenger broadcast is short, sweet, engaging. It has a story. It's not about me. It's about you guys. It's about the results that I'm going to help you deliver. It respects the venue, right? So it ticks that box. Number 2, be creative. You mean to tell me that you're going to go potentially from Messenger to a Facebook post back to Messenger with a choose your own adventure style thrown in? That is just seriously creative any which way you slice it. And number 3, get the most ROI possible out of the attention you have, right? ROI. Bots for the win, baby. We have enlisted our email subscribers and our messenger subscribers to do some work for us in this technique, right? They have graciously, whilst perhaps completely unknowingly, now liked, shared, commented on a Facebook post. And what does that do? That charges up the engagement on our Facebook page. This will give the post more organic reach. And yes, I know it's tiny, but still, that's going to give that post more organic reach. Free attention, I will take that. It also signals to Facebook that you have a highly engaged page. So many people are liking and commenting and sharing. This means this is an active page on Facebook. And what that tends to do, this is not science, it's sort of a gut feeling, but what that tends to do is lower your overall ad costs. Case by case by case, every time I've done this or run the contests that I've made mention to before, if you get a really, really engaged post, your ad costs just seem to go down. You seem to get just more action across the board. Also, moreover, do you notice that we have kept this audience on the platform and in Facebook's ecosystem? That's pretty slick, right? We're not sending them to a blog post or taking them off-site. And the way I love thinking about this one is, you ever get into a rowboat? A rowboat that has 2 oars. You get that to get that boat moving, you need both oars in sync, rowing in the same direction. I believe that taking people off Facebook, yes, of course we all do it. I'm doing it all day. But by which I mean, throwing a link, taking them off-site, out of Facebook. And again, it's how we profit, right? We've got to do it. But Facebook doesn't like it. And they make you pay to do it, right? Like we have to pay ads to really effectively do that. There's no organic reach anymore. You're posting things on there and throwing a link off-site and they're going to let you do that. Facebook, they favor and love if you keep people on Facebook. You sort of scratch their back and they'll scratch yours in terms of free reach, which leads to engagement and everything else that we're looking for. So I believe that any time that you can put yourself and Facebook in the same boat and get both oars going in the same direction, that boat's going to get going faster. It's going to get up on a plane and it's going to start going in the right direction. Take the attention away from Facebook, and it's like one oar rowing one way and the other oar rowing the other way. The boat just sort of derps out and goes in circles, right? Everything is about attention. I know it. If you listen to this podcast, you know it. And believe you me, Facebook knows it. They're doing everything they can in their power to keep their attention because they believe it is theirs. And they're right about that. So we use that fact to our advantage here. Lastly, once they're back in your bot, you're applying your segmentation, your tags, and you're doing the choose your own adventure, like I mentioned, right? You're capturing emails. You're making sure your bot sequence always has another step. So also, I should mention, you always, just as a fact, always want to be moving your email subscribers into your Messenger audience. And it takes regular and consistent effort to do this. There's not a light switch that you flip. Fish do not jump in the boat. You're not going to just say, hey, I want all of my email subscribers to get into my Messenger list. Click this link and do it. It doesn't work that way. No one's even opening your emails anyway. So it takes regular and consistent effort to do that. You'll have some that'll work better than others. Some things might just drop an email subscriber or two to your Messenger list. Some you might get 50 or 100 or 1,000, whatever. It doesn't matter. You have to stay at it consistently. There's going to be ups and downs. The way to win here is through consistent effort over a period of time to try and get as much of your email subscribers onto your Messenger subscriber list so you can hit them in both venues, right? So you tell me. Number 3 is get the most ROI possible out of the attention you do have. Everything that I just covered from a piece of content, just by bolting Messenger into your marketing stack, you're achieving all of that. Those are some small wins. They're going to all stack up into a big win. And that is some proper ROI of an audience, of a broadcast, of a piece of content. I love bots. It's incredible what they can do. So that was a lot. I get that was a lot. That's making my mind hurt even just going all over it. So do you want to see the Triple Lindy in action? You want to see how I perform the dive, so to speak? Good. Pull out your phone, search Messenger for bots for the win, 4 words, or bots, FTW, how we like to abbreviate things around here. You can hit my podcast menu in the bot, and I'll give you an opportunity to opt into the Triple Lindy, and I'll space things out. I'll ask you for your email. I'll show you what the post looks like. It'll visually cover the 50 things that is a part of this thing that I didn't mention because you kind of just need to see them, right? But you'll get to see how the entire thing works, and it goes through things. It'll be my voice, and I'll be teaching you all along the way. It'll be a pretty cool experience. Actually, I'm kind of fired up to make it. So on that note, huge thanks for listening. And as always, have a great day.